Hey folks, and welcome to Subjective Thoughts. And our manga for today is H.P. Lovecraft's The Hound and Other Stories by Dark Horse, or Dark Horse Comics. Sorry. Now there are monsters, some scary shit, guns, a bit of gore, and I mean it's Lovecraft. Need I say more, really? So if you are in any way squeamish, you have been warned. Also, spoilers. Alright, so in front of you, there will be the names of those who worked on the translated, because this is translated to English. I should have mentioned this is the English translation. And also, this is an adaptation and artwork by, I'm not even going to pronounce this gentleman's name. I'll just, here you go. Over there. I just don't even know how to pronounce that, so I'm not even going to try. Right here. If you can't see that well, I'll leave a picture. Or, yeah, I'll leave his name on screen if you can't see that very well. Alright, so as you might know, I have read Lovecraft before. Me and Mr. Gray have even done a series of streams on his stories. I've heard of Lovecraft many a times before I've ever read any of his stories. And so when I found this, I found this by chance on Book Depository. And I was very curious to see how it would be adapted into a manga. So it wasn't available for a while, but then it was, so I immediately grabbed it. And I'm glad I did. So this gentleman as well, he's adapted quite a few things, it says in the end of the book. I don't know if there are more adaptations of Lovecraft by him. They did say in the end of this that there will be, but this came out in 2014, so I don't know. Anyway, so this has 3 stories. This contains 3 stories. The Temple, The Hound, and The Nameless City. I read The Hound and I read The Nameless City, but I haven't read The Temple. I'm almost certain of it because I would have remembered the Nazis. And I don't remember any Nazis yet. Alright, so the first story we have, it's a Nazi warship during World War II or I? No, wait, Lovecraft. No, they're during World War II, I think, yeah. So they're in a submarine. They're in a submarine. And, you know, they're floating to, anyway, they're floating, they're looking for other submarines of the British in this case. And now our narrator, also nameless, but the captain, our nameless narrator, that used to be a joke for us on the stream. Yes, our narrator is the captain. And then, you know, he tells us how they were traveling. Oh, wait, this one actually has a name. He tells us his name. Actually, I won't even try because it's German. And I wouldn't know how to pronounce it. But yes, you know how it goes with Lovecraft. It seemingly first starts pretty normal. So they go, it's after a night. They find a body on top of their submarine, which they called Tommy. So I thought, wait, how did they know his name? But I think that was just like maybe slang for, you know, the body of a British, a Tommy. So they go up to remove the body, throw it overboard. It's pretty much attached to their submarine. They remove him, and when they turn him on his back, you see that his face is terrified. There's pure fear in his features. It's, well, yeah. I mean, if you see the Lovecraftian stuff, I think you'd have a look like that too. So one of the, it's a lieutenant, before they throw the body overboard, he looks into his front pocket and pulls out this artifact. It's a head. It's a head of a man. A little statue about like this size. And then he tells them throw him overboard. And after they do, things start to go severely downhill. The men start going crazy, start seeing things. The two men that threw the Tommy overboard also start to lose it. I think they're among the first. But things progress. They also seem to be getting pulled somewhere. They keep and not getting pulled. Yeah, things start to go bad. They slowly start to go mad. Then something weird is happening with the submarine. They before that, two men disappeared. The one that threw the body off the submarine, and then the engine room explodes, killing all the engine workers and also destroying their engine. So now they only have electricity, but not the engine. Things are getting worse. So as they continue to float, they see an American submarine. So the captain tells them that they must sink below. Which, it's pretty dangerous, because they don't have their engines. They just have the electricity, but they do as the captain says. And so they go down below, and later on they don't see any more of the enemy ship. But the other crew, they want the captain to take them back up. But he says no. And a mutiny happens. Sorry, my voice is a bit gone today. A mutiny happens. The remaining crew are against the captain and the lieutenant. And essentially the lieutenant kills them all. They also ask the lieutenant to give it back. The little head statue he took away. It's essentially what started all of this. So in the end, the lieutenant, only the lieutenant and the captain stay, and the lieutenant is also losing it, while the captain is calm and collected, more or less, considering the situation. The lieutenant is drinking. He's losing it. You know what they're going to do? They keep getting pulled lower and lower. Down into the ocean. And in the end, the lieutenant, not in the end, as it continued, the lieutenant just tells the captain, we must go. There's no use resisting. It means whatever it is that is pulling them. He's already seen the truth. And he's like pulling, and you know what's amazing about this is how sane the captain is. Normally, the characters in Lovecraft, they start to go insane slowly. They panic, they freak out. But here, I started to wonder if maybe he has some issues mentally. The captain. Yeah, I don't know. And I thought maybe something like autism or Asperger's. It's a weird, weird thing to say, but just how calm he is and how he's completely focused on the mission. Where maybe he's somewhat emotionless, perhaps, I would even say. Because someone would at least somewhat freak out, but our captain's completely, calm, all things considered. Just, looking in the maps and trying to figure out their location. Yes, the lieutenant tries to pull him with him. Let's go out of the submarine. But the captain pulls his hand away and is about to shoot him. And then the lieutenant laughs and said, "You're just too sane." And he tells him, "Close the hatch after me." So the lieutenant goes out of the submarine and, dies. Drowns. But the captain is looking for his body, but he can't find it there. All he sees are actually some creepy dolphins. I'll show you later. I think I can. I mean, it's not entirely new. I won't show you everything, but I'll show you some parts. So finally, the submarine stops, and the captain has arrived at this city. And it looks like everything has been carved in this city. It hasn't been built, it's been carved into the stones. Actually, before this, the further they go down, the lieutenant even mentions how it looks like things are carved down there. They're starting to come across buildings and everything. So, when he stops, he puts on what do you call that suit? A diving suit. No, not that's probably not the proper name. You know what? I'll put the correct name here on screen. I don't remember what it's called. I need to look it up. But you know, the old suits they used to wear when they would go straight underwater, with the big helmets and everything. Not helmets. Anyway, let's continue. And he goes outside into this what appears to be a city. And he also, before this, he took the oh yeah, wait, I'm a bit ahead. Okay, he reaches this place. He stops there. And, you know, the electricity's running out, and his candles are running out, and he's about to commit suicide. But then, suddenly, he sees light after his candle is turned off. And he's like, it must be a trick of my mind. But it's not. Light is coming, oh, fuck. My brain's not functioning. Okay, he reaches the city with the submarine. He goes out to explore it. Because he had this... He got the little statue head from the lieutenant. He took it, that is. And he goes, and he sees that, you know, in the city, on top, there's carved the whole royalty of Atlantis. As he said, he reached Atlantis. He thought it was just a myth, but there it is. And he explores it, he finds some coins. And then he goes in deeper, and there's this entrance, which, well, like the title, I'm guessing that is indeed the temple. But as he goes further, his light starts to weaken and shut off, so he goes back, realizing I can't go any further. And then I'm guessing he sits for a while in the submarine and thinks, my light's gonna run out. And then he's about to try to commit suicide. But then the city, or maybe more accurately, the temple, lights up. So he goes out again, you know, not believing it, but he keeps going up the stairs. And he goes into the... and then that's it. It ends with him going into the temple. So that was... sorry. So that was quite something. I really want to read the story now, you know, in the book form. Because, obviously, they had to cut some things here to... It is a manga, after all, and does contain 3 of the stories. So now I really want to read the temple. I wonder how it ended, because normally the narrator is the one that tells us with Lovecraft, so... before he goes again, he releases a bottle with a note. So I wonder if in the story that's where it ended, and this is just what we, what the adapter decided to put in. But yeah, overall, I like that one a lot. Like I do with, maybe not. Like I said many times, Lovecraft stories are very interesting. Maybe sometimes dry and the sentences are a bit long, but they are very, very interesting. I did enjoy this one in the adapted form. But yeah, we'll see how much I like it in the regular story form when I get to it. But still, cool. Very cool. But just to see it all. Alright, I'll go. 14 minutes. Alright, I'll quickly describe the other 2, and I'll show you some art. So the Hound is these 2 gentlemen, actually here on the cover. these two gentlemen, St. John and his friend, who, you know, they're tired of the mortal things in life and they want something more exciting. So their excitement is robbing graves and reading the Necronomicon. Or a copy of the Necronomicon, I should say. And as always, that leads to a lot of shit. You'd think people would learn by now, but nope. So they awaken the beast, essentially. And, as always, they steal this artifact from a grave of someone. And then the shit starts to go bad. Ghosts appear in their home. The Hound is now haunting them. It's not the Hound in the classical sense, as you might think. It's this great beast with wings. Oh, just as I talk about the Hound, there's barking. If you can hear that. First, St. John is taken by the beast. The beast catches him and cuts him. And then there's his friend, whose name we don't learn, because again, he's the narrator. So he buries St. John, burns all the things they have gathered from the graves. And then he leaves to, I think he leaves to London. There he goes and he goes for a drink after he arrives, but someone robs his room. They take his suitcase where they got the little jade pendant of the beast from this grave they went to. And it's in the suitcase that's stolen. So while he's drinking, after he comes back to his room, he realizes it's gone. But the poor souls, or poor bastards more like, who stole it, have been killed by the beast. And now John here, he's in his room. He's in his room sitting, not John. Our narrator's in his room sitting, you know. Then he hears yelling and everything outside. He goes to see what it is. And then, you know, people talking, oh, what a beast must have did it. A great murder. So much gore. And he goes down to where the police is. And he sees one mutilated body. I'm sure he recognizes it because that's similar to how John looked. And then he sees a suitcase, so he tells the police officer that that's his. He gets it back, he opens it and realizes that the jade pendant is not there. So for some reason, which will seem weird to us, he wants to go find it again. So he goes back to that grave, digs it up again, opens it. There's a lot of bats swarming in there. And he sees the dead body again. It was 500 years old, but not badly preserved. And he sees that he has the pendant again. And then the body opens its eyes and looks at him. And then we get him telling us that he doesn't remember how he escaped. He's walking the poor streets of London. And then the beast arrives to take him as well. And the last panel is him about to shoot himself in the head. So I read that one and I enjoyed it, and I can't remember if it went exactly like they did for the manga. I think it pretty much did. The Hound was one hell of a story though. And then the last one is the Temple, which is pretty short. Sorry, not the Temple, the Nameless City. Just pretty short. You have this one man looking for this nameless city that the Arabs are afraid of. There. And he finds it. And that's him going inside and exploring it. And, you know, finding this long forgotten species. And then witnessing them going straight in and witnessing them flying towards him. Because he sees them as dead bodies, but they come to life. And then you see him trying to do his best to escape. The descriptions in the actual story made it far better, though, I think. It's not bad in manga form, but I don't know. From what I remember, I think the story was better detailed. But at least I did understand that he managed to escape, because When we read it, I thought that he was trapped in there too. Mr. Gray told me no, he manages to escape. He does. Ah, wait, I'm sorry. You can argue though with how much of his sanity he manages to escape with. So yeah, that was good too to see in this adaptation. The camel was drawn pretty cute, I have to say. Not related, but still. Alright, yeah, let's start with the art. I'm sorry, I'm a bit sleepy. Alright, so this is the first one. This is our narrator captain. There he is. Can't see the lieutenant here, but this is the art style. So you see, it's manga, but maybe not. I don't know if it's not like the typical manga style you can see with the rounded heads and everything, which really wouldn't have fit in here. I think it would have looked completely out of place. But this style, which in some places seem like the proportions are a bit wrong, is actually very well fitting to Lovecraft style. Now let's see if you can find the lieutenant. I know, let me go a bit further, sorry. So you see there's the lieutenant. You see there's the submarine, they're going in darkness. Good choice as black and white too. Kind of adds more to the... There we go. There's the dolphin. I don't know about you, but that dolphin kind of scares me. Imagine a dolphin approaching you smiling like that. Hey, how you doing? I think maybe it's the shadows that makes it look creepy. You see, there it is. Now let's go to the Hound. So St. John is the one with the long hair. And that's our narrator. And there's the Necronomicon. There we go. You see? And you see all the artifacts they've been stealing. Let me see if I can find the pendant to show you. Just a moment. Okay, there it is. Warning, dead body ahead. You see, there it is. It's in the shape of the beast. Oh, which I gotta show you as well. What's cool about seeing, you know, comic adaptations, everything of Lovecraft's works, is, you know, see after the description what artists come up with when they draw him. Because, you know, you get all these descriptions that are perhaps somewhat hard to wrap your brain around. Like, okay, you see, that's the beast. The Hound, sorry. So, yeah, a lot of it's very, very cool. It's cool to see it. You see, that's the dead guy looking at you. Look at those eyes. He's rising. And now let's go to the temple. One moment. So there's the temple, you see. And I gotta show you these creatures that are like, yeah, they kind of look a bit like platypuses with the front anyway. Fucking creepy. I don't remember the exact description in the book anymore, but yeah, not exactly the most handsome, are they? Let me show you the camel. And like you see him going down there. One moment. That's a very nicely drawn camel. Even the camel's looking worried, like, don't go, man. Whatever you do, don't go. And then you see them, they're all flying towards him. Look at that horrified expression. Poor gentleman. Well, he shouldn't have went there. You see, that's the door. And I just thought, as we read it, that he might have been trapped in there with them. Like, for him, I'm glad he wasn't, but, you know, doesn't help him much. And there's the cover. You see, there's St. John and his friend, the narrator. There we go. Alright. So that was the art. Really good art. You can see there's a bit of a difference between the temple and then the Hound and the and then the Hound in the Nameless City. I think perhaps the Hound and the Nameless City were drawn by the same person, and then the temple was by another one. I think, though, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they were all drawn by the same person, just style is slightly different. But yeah, as you can tell, not your typical manga style. Which, again, wouldn't have really fit that well with Lovecraft, I think. It would have ruined it, you know? It's kind of like seeing a cutesy version of Cthulhu. Might be cute, but kind of loses the Lovecraftian lore and terrifying force behind it. But yes. So, now, I can't say for the temple if it's the same because I haven't read it, but I think the Hound and the Nameless City were well done. I need to reread them again, though, and then reread this just to see how it is and how much they've put inside. Although, from what I remember, the Hound wasn't that long of a story either. And neither was the temple. And not the temple, neither was the Nameless City. Maybe the temple wasn't that long either. Like, I'd imagine that adapting one of his more longer stories would have been, would have required its own manga, essentially. But yeah, overall, I really enjoyed this. It was cool to see. And it's a good read. I went through it pretty quickly. And I enjoyed it a lot. It was interesting to see all the Lovecraftian monsters in this too. Good stuff, good stuff. And yeah, that's about it. Maybe if I find some more of these, I will pick them up, because it would be interesting to read more adaptations. So far, I've only seen the one Mr. Gray showed on his channel, where it's was of something else by Lovecraft. But yeah, I think I will look for more Lovecraft adaptations. Alright, so that is it, folks. I don't think I have anything to add. Oh, by the way, you notice how it's yellow? I think in my book about colors, I read that yellow is the color of fear. Or to symbolize fear, so I think that's why they used it. But yeah, a good translation. Would have been interesting to see how it is in the... Is it Japanese originally? I don't know, actually. Oh, well, you'll see, you'll probably see it in the beginning. I just hadn't paid attention too much. Alright, folks, so that is it. Now, if you enjoyed Lovecraft, I recommend you pick this one up if you can find it. Yeah, you might enjoy it a lot. Or if you like horror, I've never been into Lovecraft, I never tried reading Lovecraft. Yeah, give it a shot. You know, if you can't, perhaps, if you read his stories and, I don't know, found it a bit dry, maybe pick this up instead, because, you know, you have pictures and everything. So it might be more interesting and better going. But yeah, still, a good one. I recommend it. Alright, folks, so that is it. Now remember, collect what you're passionate about and share it on YouTube. Bye!